Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we return to talking about the United States presidential election, which is currently in full swing here in America. Currently we're a few weeks away from voting, and I think I have some interesting takes and some clips and stuff I want to share with you that should make you question whether or not you're voting for Joseph Biden. God forbid you're already thinking of that. I think you have a lot to worry about aside from his mental health, which is what we're talking about today. Because in addition, if Biden does win, he obviously is going to pack the Supreme Court. He refused to answer that question. He even said the public doesn't deserve to know whether he'll answer that question until after the election. So he's essentially saying he won't tell you his plans until after he's elected, which is very creepy, very weird, kind of strange way to put it. And in addition, he's aging. He obviously will be replaced shortly by Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is his second choice, his second in command. And she is a really, really smug Californian who will obviously ruin our country way, way more too. And this kind of evidence we're going over today, these kinds of clips and these kinds of hypotheses that we're going to discuss, obviously we're not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm not trying to prove like I have exact proof. Like I'm just trying to suggest through a little kind of research. These people have done a video that we're going to go over, and they're essentially guessing what is wrong with Biden. We could clearly see he messes up his speaking a lot. Some people have even seen his hands shaking like he has tremors. We've also talked about how he had a bloodshot eye one day during a debate. He's had many various like health related issues. Meanwhile, by the way, Trump is super healthy. He's fit. Obviously, he just survived the pandemic disease, and that happened a week ago. But think about it like this. The dude had the disease, he got the virus, and then like less than a week later, he was back to work, back at the White House. He's doing speeches. I just saw him do a campaign rally the other night. He spoke for an hour and was dancing afterwards. I mean, this guy can't be stopped. And obviously, Trump is way more active than Biden. Biden, I haven't seen since the last debate. I think he did one or two public events that were, seen by like 5 people or something like that. But essentially, his health is in question. We can clearly see he's on the decline. He's almost 80. He can't keep his thoughts straight. And that's why I want to talk about it more and really go over the fact that is Joe Biden very sick? Like he doesn't seem healthy. He doesn't seem fit for office. And when you put these kinds of things together, like in this video we're going to discuss, you're really going to see why. So this is a video. It's from a new YouTube channel who collected some pretty interesting facts here. I find it very, very revealing. So we're going to go ahead and go through it beat by beat and talk about what they say.
The Mayo Clinic observes these following cognitive changes: memory loss.
The rapidly rising I don't know.
So basically, we're going over a Mayo Clinic symptoms for Parkinson's, for dementia. This is a dementia from the Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic is a very respected big chain of these super hospitals, essentially. People go there for the best care, and they have a lot of doctors working on things. There's research, there's treatment. It's a very, very big hospital place. And so their kind of findings and their rulings on these diseases is very respected. And that's why I think it's interesting to kind of go over this and talk about he has possible dementia. We're going to go through each of these cognitive changes throughout this video. The first one was memory loss. As you just saw, Biden was at a speech. He couldn't remember what he was talking about. He was scratching his head. He was getting distressed, frustrated. He just can't remember things. He's not operating at a full level. He's just too old. God bless him. I'm not trying to hate on him too hard. Like I kind of feel sorry for him sometimes because I'm like, why is he being allowed to do this? Why aren't his family members help him? Like God, really got to think about his family and how they're putting him out there too. Like his wife should be protecting him, not like defending him and playing, cover for him. She's like covering up for him a lot of times, speaking for him and all this crazy stuff. And it's just a mess. It's really bad. And you're going to see, we're going to get through each of these symptoms that added together really do show a sign of something going on. We don't know if it's dementia, Parkinson's, what yet, but there's certainly some cause to be concerned because think about it like this. I mean, he's going to be the president. He's running for president. God forbid he wins, but if he does, he's going to be in charge of so many important things, not just the country, not just, national defense or the nuclear launch codes or things like that. He's going to have the military at his command. He's just going to be really, really powerful, and it's going to make our country weaker. Like you see all these things happen, and when you have a weak leader like that, that's going to get us weaker in the international community. They're going to look over and say, hey, let's check out America. They're kind of sleeping over there. They've got this old guy in charge. I don't don't know if they're necessarily ready for us to whichever. I mean, China's already coming after us. Other countries hate America a lot too. We've been attacked before, and I really, really fear what could happen in the future with the Biden presidency. So back to the video now. The next point is difficulty communicating or finding words. Let's see what kind of evidence they have for that.
Communicating or finding words.
For example, the Paycheck Protection Act. 1% of the money's gone out. 1% of the that's not the paycheck. The bill for small businesses, mainstream lending, 1%'s gone out. If you agree.
So that's a clip. The reporter was trying to help him out. It was kind of sad because he just lost it. He couldn't get the thoughts out. That was a recent clip from September, just a few months ago. And now we're into July. This is of last year, but it's still a bad sign if he was declining last year. And then more recently, he's buckling under the pressure. And in addition, it's just, he can't handle complex situations. Like he can't deal with these ideas and these thoughts and breaking them down and expressing them audibly, saying words that make sense, putting sentences together, framing arguments, defending your argument, using emphasis, changing the volume of your voice. I'm doing all those things. That's part of my job here. And that's why I could see it being so bad with Joe Biden. Like he can't even communicate.
Agree with me. Go to Joe 30330. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
So before we get to the next one, yes, that's a good little reference to some other clips. Some of them I've seen before. And the one that was sticking out to me is he can't even remember that text number. It's like a 5-number code, 303 or something like that. And he can't even remember his own code. I don't know why he even tried to say it if he can't remember it. I don't know why he needs to repeat it. It's on a sign that he's standing on. He could just read it. But this is another, presentation. This is another kind of, I think this is an attempt at an October surprise as well. Admittedly, sometimes those are, politically motivated, surely, but the evidence is there. We're not making this stuff up. This is all cause for alarm. That's why this JoeBidenIsSick.com is something interesting to look at.
Difficulty with visual or spatial abilities, confusion or disorientation.
Look, doctor, listen to the science. The scientists say that.
Look at him walking. He's got a handler. He's always got a handler with him. He's having trouble with walking.
Why? You're getting nervous, man. And so the whole point of this is that we can do a lot to deal with endangered species. And one of the things I would like to raise is that we have to deal with this on an international basis as well. Because right now, for example...
Okay, this is getting bad. This is not a good look. He's like walking off the stage. That's pretty much the funniest one. I feel bad laughing. Like I said, this is not like something I would normally want to pick apart or bring up, but you do have to remember he's running for president. He's doing a very dangerous thing. He's not just staying at home. He's not just, maybe even just appearing on a video, like making YouTube videos or Twitter or something. Like that's one thing. And being old, that's kind of, not a cool thing to make fun of, really. He's lived a long life. But like I was saying, I mean, this is a person that's running for president. If he gets into power, he's going to make a lot of problems happen. So I think it's super important to point this out and to show you and to get everyone on the same page, because they used to call these things gaffes and they try to make it seem like it's just a silly mistake, like it's meaningless. And I think we're way past that. We're not just at the point where he misspoke. A gaffe is more like, to me, it's innocent. It could happen to anyone. Like you're just saying a speech and you say the wrong word. Like you say, you're reading and you're talking about dunking some basketballs and maybe you say dunking donuts. You just miss up a word, and that's a gaffe. That's a simple mistake, honest mistake. And some people can be prone to gaffes more. Like there's definitely people who are nervous at public speaking or just, lose train of thought in a big moment. That happens more to some people, less to others. But the point is, that's not Biden. Biden is a public speaker, public servant who's been in politics for many decades, like 30, 40 years, 47 years, I think is what Trump said. He said he got 47 months of his presidency and Trump got more done in 47 months than Biden did in 47 years. And that's true. And that really also brings up the point that, Biden was good at one point. He had the cognitive abilities. He's a speaker. He's a smooth talker. He got people to vote for him. Not denying that, but he's past his prime. He's falling off. He's certainly very likely sick or suffering from something, some kind of dementia, memory loss. Parkinson's is a prediction here. That's why I think they're bringing it up. And this is the JoeBidenIsSick.com website. And yeah, I think it's worth noting. It's worth bringing up because it really doesn't look good for the candidate. It doesn't look good for the Democrats right now. And I think it's honestly them trying to find someone they can control. Like that's something that was said before too. I remember there were some leaked BLM Zoom calls where they talked about it and they're like, yeah, if we get Biden in, we'll be able to manipulate and control him or replace him. You know, people know that he's not going to make it very far. Even if he does win, God forbid, he's not going to make it through 4 years. I mean, even he has said that. He said he won't say if he's going to go for re-election. He won't say where he'll be in 4 years because he doesn't know. I mean, the guy doesn't even know what state he's in now. That's another mess up that he always has. He forgets where he is. He forgets what he's talking about. He has all these kinds of goofs and gaffes. And what we're saying here is it's not actually a goof or gaff. It's actually a greater problem. It's actually worse than we thought. I think it's possible he's very sick and suffering from some kind of aging ailment that has made him lose cognitive abilities. And I think that's not what you want for the president. You want someone who's president, who's in their prime, someone who is at least, 90% of their prime. I think Trump definitely has that. Trump might even be at 95%. Surely he's older too. Surely, as he's admitted, he's a senior citizen as well, even. I mean, he's in his 70s, but he's still operating at a high level. Joe Biden is not. Joe Biden is the one who calls lids every day of the week. Lid means they're not going to talk to the press anymore for that day. And Biden's done that like at 9 in the morning, like many times in the past few weeks. That means he's taken the whole day off many times in the middle of a campaign, like a few weeks before people vote. And the guy is hiding. He can't even stand. And I think it's to show that these points hold up. And some of them aren't even there. Like I thought of some other ones. Like I said, I've seen videos of his hand kind of shaking, like showing he might have tremors, like being older. And the other thing I'll point out was, remember when he was having the spatial awareness problem at the end of this video and he kind of like walked off the stage? That reminds me of this other speech he did a few weeks ago where they announced him and he came out like really late, like they were giving him applause and they're clapping and it goes for a second and you think he's going to come out at the height of the clap, but he actually waited too long and the clap started to die down and people were like, is he coming? And then he comes out late and he's all smiley, like trying to play it cool. It's like classic Joe Biden. He walks stiff. He acts like he has a problem. So I wouldn't be surprised if he actually was very ill. That about wraps things up. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Also hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell for notifications too. Until next time, have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow.